Primeshock presents
Plug in.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Connect
Hello.
Studio Sessions live stream, the second episode,
Yes.
which is once again hosted by us. Our name is Primeshock, and tonight we have a very special stream once again for you.
We do.
Yeah, we got challenged by QDance once again. You know, who doesn't like challenges? And this time it's a very special challenge, Bart.
Yeah, we were challenged to make the official Connect soundtrack. So we did.
Hell yeah. Yeah. This is, for us, it's a really big honor to do something like this. Especially considering, you know, no festivals right now, no events right now. So, also, not really any soundtrack coming out at all, aside from the anthems that were already produced. So doing this is actually kind of feeling like we had to make an anthem. Right?
For the whole happening.
For the whole happening, for the whole corona crisis. This is the
Oh no, don't call it that.
no, this is something else. Yeah, and
Yes.
for tonight, we thought it would be fun to show you the final track, to let you listen to it for the first time ever, because you know we can't play it anywhere. So doing it on stream is the only way to get you guys to listen to it.
Yeah, to premiere it.
Yeah, and to make that a studio session, we just decided, well, we'll just dive into the project itself and show you how we made it, and everyone can ask questions about how we did certain things or whatever. Just ask away. And
Yeah.
talking about that, we'll be watching the QDance YouTube live stream. So if you have any questions,
if you have a question, just drop them in that chat. And this time I do have the right chat before me.
last time you kind of
Yes.
watched the wrong chat. Doesn't
At
matter.
first.
At first, yeah. So
So that also explains what our roles will be during this stream. This time I will be in the chat and Thijs will be handling the mouse.
hell yeah, yeah. I'll be handling the mouse, and we'll be going through this Primeshock Connect official soundtrack together. We are really proud of this one, and we
Damn.
will tell a little more about the idea of the track after we made you listen to it. So I would say, without any further ado, we have the project right here.
Shall
I've
we
muted-
switch to
Yeah, that's
to
a good
headphones
one.
then?
Otherwise, you guys won't be hearing it. And by the way, if there's anything wrong with the sound or whatever, it's all technical stuff. So make sure you say it, because then we can try to fix it. But we'll see.
It's live, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and it's a very I don't know. There are possibly quite some producers in the chat right now watching. If you see this project, it's quite a big project. I think we've used over 100 mixer channels as well, full of effects. So we've exported the track to make sure you can hear it without any stuttering, and then we can unmute everything and get to the more detailed stuff.
Because it will be glitchy if we would listen to it fresh from FL's itself.
We guarantee you will hear glitches and stuff.
Yes. But that's actually producers live, so
Yeah, very true.
now you will know our struggles.
All right. I think it's time, Bart.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's premiere this baby.
This is the premiere of Primeshock Never Alone, the official Connect soundtrack. Enjoy.
You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. No, you'll never be alone. You'll never be alone.
This is our synergy. You feel the energy, the heart style backbone. We connect.
There you go. little jokey at the end right there.
Yes.
All right, that was the worldwide premiere of Never Alone.
It sure was.
I'm not seeing the chat because I'm doing the streaming. What do you see, Bart?
Well, I do see a lot of fire emojis and people loving it.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, this was a really fun project to make because it kind of began as something completely different.
Yeah.
I think we started this project somewhere in November even.
Yeah, I think November indeed. And I believe we started with the vocal.
Yeah, the vocal of the girl singing Never Alone. And we kind of left it hanging, and then somewhere in the winter we were like, all right, this could be something for DEF CON 1 maybe, something that people can really relate to, and that could be a really cool track to drop for the first time at DEF CON 1 at the Red, or in the end show or whatever. So yeah, we went producing.
Yeah, I think in January or February we started continuing to work on the track,
and then
and it was pretty much finished a few weeks ago.
No,
a month ago,
a few days ago. We really just finished it a few days ago.
Yeah, that's true. But I was working towards the parts that needed to be added.
Yeah, so we were like, all right, this could be a great track for DEF CON 1, and then coronavirus came in and spoiled the whole.
Yes.
But then we were like, oh, but maybe this can be something like, oh, Never Alone, you know, you're never alone and everyone's in quarantine. And then QDance said to us, okay, guys, DEF CON 1's not gonna happen because we can't, we need to postpone it by a year. So how about you guys turn it into the Connect official soundtrack? And I think that was only a few weeks ago they came up with that idea, and we were like, all right.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. After Hamster's Paradise last time.
And the only thing that needed to be added at that point was the male vocal, the rap.
Exactly.
That's being used in the two melody build-ups.
I can show
and
you.
It's right after the first climax as well. And I think that's pretty much the only thing, the only place where it is.
This is our synergy. You feel the energy? We are resilient on beat. The hard style backbone. We connect. Never alone.
We needed that kind of more, we needed the words connect, we connect, or let's connect, or whatever. Something about hardstyle. And the hardstyle backbone this guy is talking about is, of course, you and all the organizations and all of the artists and everyone that's just...
It's basically describing the whole scene and how the whole scene together really is the hardstyle backbone, and it is what is keeping us together as well.
Yep. Yeah, during these hard times.
Yeah.
It was just what we needed to give the track the last bit of oomph, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The bit of oomph.
Like the female vocal, it's really nice, and it has a nice ring to it, but the lyrics aren't that deep. It doesn't really tell that much of a story.
Yeah, and after all, the female vocal was a sample we got on Splice, and I think this vocalist is also in a few Disturb tracks, the Tweakers tracks, like this female vocalist. So we needed something to make it unique anyway. This was
that's true.
It was the foundation, but the whole male vocal on top of it was the element we needed to make it unique for Connect.
And for ourselves.
And for ourselves. And we can show you a few of the hidden secret details kind of stuff, because this track is packed with extra layers. We normally you don't add as many details, I think, but for this track we just felt like it could need it, and especially since we started in November, you just keep on adding stuff. Until it's
that can
done.
also be a downside.
In Mixdown, it's horrible, but maybe sounds like these make you remember a certain event.
Perhaps,
Or stuff like this. The project. No. Always makes me think of the project. It's packed with little details, and of course we have a very characteristic clock ticking. All just hardstyle stuff. We even snuck in a few children's laughing. I'm not sure if you can hear them, but it's really tiny detail. You will hear it eventually, but to make it a little more nostalgic, we can make you listen to it
also,
in context.
It also kind of reminds you of the whole situation that's going on right now. I mean, only kids can play outside, at least in the Netherlands. So
I didn't even think about it that way, to be honest.
Well, don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, but it's a really good analogy. I like it. Yeah, so in context, we can show you a few of the layers in the project itself. As soon as we hit some stuttering, it's just my PC that's doing its best to keep up.
Yeah. People want to know when this track will be released. All we can say for now is really soon.
Released soon, yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. Really
and not
soon,
and not the usual soon that you get from other artists. But really soon.
The soon, like, oh yeah, we played this track at Climax and you will get it soon. And then maybe
soon.
half a year later you...
No, it's a matter of days/weeks.
Yeah, it depends a little bit on how fast we can get everything through with the marketing, uploading it to Spotify, stuff like that. But more info on that later. Let's just listen to the kids laughing for now. It's just so subtle, but it's there. Every layer here has a little function. There's just chord stabs, pads, arpeggios. This is just ticking around to create the atmosphere of You know, something starting out really small and then growing towards something big. Stuff like this can really bring a track to life. You know, just a drum with a reverb can only do so much and can make a very old school sounding vibe, which is cool. But for this, we wanted DEFCON 1 feels, I guess.
Yeah,
summer feel.
We were going for that.
Yep. Everything is just working together. Stuff filtering away. By the way, we did a lot of effect kicks as well in this track.
Oh man, you should let them hear some of the FX kicks. I'm so in love with these FX kicks.
You want the one before the anticlimax?
That one is one of the best, and the one right after, or right at the end of the mix intro.
That's this one. Oh yeah, I need to switch to.
Someone's saying track 55. Is that a layered automation clip?
Track 55. Wait, I need to go back to the video clip cut. 55. So this one, the downlifter sparkle, that's we just layered the volume on top of the audio clip because we felt like it it could reserve some space in the whole project, which is more than 100 layers. It's 130. We normally
it's way too much.
Yeah, normally we don't organize our projects this well. Well, maybe towards the end, but for this project, because we wanted to showcase everything, we felt like, okay, let's just make sure everything is in the position we can find it back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can't explain what's going on.
Otherwise, we're half of the time searching for stuff instead of actually showing you stuff.
Exactly. Okay, so you want to listen to the FX kick right after the mix intro?
Yeah, I love that.
Of course, we're not sharing the mix intro with everyone because then they can just go ahead and steal the track. Let's see this one. All right.
Oh man,
crunchy sounds.
I love it.
Those kind of rolls. Is there anything the chat would really like to see? Because we can just go through like highlighting the stuff we think is interesting, but
yeah. Well, currently the chat isn't really saying stuff about what they want to see right now, but I do have a few questions
Tell me
which people already send in. How to pitch a hardstyle kick.
That's a good one. We can just show them how we how we have the kicks in this project. So we have the a new Primeshock kick actually, which is this one. Pretty fat, and there are plenty of ways to go about pitching your kicks. But what we do most of the time is, for example, when we have the kick right here, which is an audio sample in this case, you
just take the punch.
Yeah, you have the punch, which is like the first quarter, which is only the talkie part, which really gives the impact. And we separate it from the tail, which is this part, which is where most of the bass is and the crunchy roam. And we make sure that we know at which key we're working. Well, in this case, we said it's an F. We put it in the name of the audio file. And then we make the tail separate from the punch, and we choose in which direction we want to pitch it. So right now it's F. And we can transpose it, say, 5 semitones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones. It gets shorter because we just say, okay, play faster. So it sounds like
play higher. So it goes faster. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you have to stretch it back.
Yeah, because otherwise your kick will not be 150 BPM length of one count. It will. This is too short.
It's too short, yeah.
So now we just stretch the tail to where it should be, right about there, and we do that individually for every kick. So every
pitch.
Yeah, for every pitch we need.
Yes.
So the punch is still the punch. We don't do anything with that, so you don't lose the impact. And then the tail, we say reset the pitch, so it's pitched up, stretched back to the normal
and then you
length, and then we say which
choose
kind
your
of stretch.
favorite stretch method or stretch algorithm.
Yeah, stretch mode, it's called in FL Studio. I think it's in many other workstations you have different kind of names for it.
Yeah, I think the ones in Cubase are really good as well.
Yep. And then there's your kick.
So that's how you pitch it, a
Yep.
kick. At least that's how we pitch a kick.
Exactly.
I mean, we already have like 4 different methods which we use, but this is the one we're using most of the times because you can do it right in FL.
True. And sometimes a kick doesn't really like to be pitched in a certain way, and if you try a different method, it can sound better because you can change at which mode you wanna pitch it. So for example, this is a really high kick. Right now it's pitched in the E3 mono mode in Fruity Loops. But if we change it to transient, it sounds a lot differently, and we don't like.
It's a watery effect.
Yeah, but sometimes for a reverse bass or something.
Yeah, some kicks it might work for.
Yep.
People are asking, can you do pitching straight from piano roll?
Yep.
I do think you can, but I do think you will need to load them into Contact.
Yep. Or you need to make them
we
separate.
don't really. Yeah. It's not really something you want to do, I think. I think this will give you more control of the kick.
Exactly. Because right now we can do weird stuff with the stretches. We can make the whole tail stretch longer. For example, for the last kick, you can add reverb and then it makes it longer and fade out a little more. And in piano roll, it's a lot more of a struggle. I think you have to make another instance of the piano roll, while right now it's just the audio clip and that's it. And you can do stuff like this as well.
People want to know what the ghost punch is.
What?
The ghost punch.
The ghost punch. All right, so this is a little producer secret right here. The ghost punch. We have it right here, which is the pink one, and we have another one right here, which is green, and it's called reverb ghost punch. What we do in order to get a nice reverb room effect, as well as the delay, the echoing on, for example, the leads or screeches or whatever, we want to make sure that it fits nicely into the mix. And this ghost punch is actually not making any sound. It's just a peak, and we muted it. It's sent to this track, which is track 121. And what it does is we send it to our main top lead channel, in which all of our lead sounds go, and we use it as a signal to trigger the Fruity limiter, which limits the sound that comes through. So I will show you how that looks. If I just play the ghost punch and the lead. This is the lead. With the that's a lot of reverb. With the ghost punch enabled, which is timed exactly when the punch is hit, but you won't hear it, it's just there to trigger. You will see a little dip on this graph, which dips the volume of the lead, making room for the punch, making it sound a little more clean and in your face, and you can make your track louder, essentially. which is better. Loud is good in
Loud,
style.
red is good.
Red is good. So watch the little graph right here. You can see the pattern of the pink ghost punch. And what you can hear is that the lead starts dipping in volume, and you can make that really extreme, like unnecessarily extreme. So, for example, if I increase the release of it, you can hear it starts to sidechain way over the top. But by finding the sweet spot, you will give that little bit of room for the punch to cut through the mix. And the same thing we do right here in the hard drop with this kick, which we really like. But this time we don't make it dip the sounds that play right here, which is the vocal. What we make it do is we make it dip. So it's right here. It goes to our reverb and another reverb and a delay, and we make it dip the volumes of those on the rhythm that the track is. So this track is in triplet for the more old school feeling. Just a nice little bobby head feeling you get from that. So if we play it like that, wait, let me rearrange this. You will see, for example, the reverb. Let's just play the reverb and this kick. Here's the kick, here's the punch, and then we make sure there's a reverb going on. So if I turn on the vocal, you will trigger the reverb. You will see the reverb.
You should turn off the kick, I think. That way you will hear it more clearly.
Oh yeah, true. Maybe that's right.
That way that creates more drive as well.
Yeah, it starts pumping. It creates more room,
Yes.
so you can make it louder, but it also creates more of a offbeat.
There's a suction going on.
We like suction. Yeah.
People want to know how we created the leads, or at least want to know which plugins we use for the leads. I think most of them are Silent and Serum, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think that's true. We are a big fan of Silent 1. So let me see. Yeah, this is Silent 1, Silent 1, Silent 1, Silent 1, Silent 1, Serum, Harmor, which is Fruity Loops only. I'm not sure if that's true, but it's by ImageLine, the producer of Fruity Loops, and another Silent 1. And then we also have a Virus C, which is a hardware synthesizer we have. We also have the Virus TI. Is it TI or TI2?
I got the TI2.
TI2, but we didn't use it in this project.
Nope.
It was good enough. And the
Virus
Virus
was already a really nice lead.
Virus sounds like this. And the leads, like the VST plugins, we can play them individually. I think we could have done with a little less layers, to be honest.
We always can do it less layers, but I mean, it's hard to keep it.
Yep.
To keep it with just a few layers.
You get in it, and then
it's a bad habit, from us.
Yeah, it's harder to get the mix down right, but eventually when you get it right, it's great. All right, so these are the layers we have. And every lead is, by the way, being pitched bend, so it gives a little more of a organic feel to it. Just those tiny little bits.
Did Q-Dance ask for any changes before we finished the track? I don't really recall any changes.
They thought it was
Do you?
perfect.
Yes. They were like, oh god!
Oh my god, that's perfect. No, I think they didn't really. I mean, on top of it, there was not really that much time to do anything else on it, by the way.
That's true. There was a short deadline.
When we got challenged by them to make this, it took a little time to get the male vocal in and to get that right. But as soon as we got that, they felt like it was the right addition as well to the track.
Yeah, we get a lot of freedom.
Yeah, we got a lot of freedom, and I think that's great.
Yes, it's not like a Defcon anthem.
Wow.
Not that I know how that really goes, but I've heard some stories.
Maybe we'll know one day, but for now, let's just start.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
No, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. By the way, we can show you a little bit about.
People want to know how we combined the leads into one.
That was what I was thinking. Yeah, we're missing a few layers.
Easy. That's pretty easy. No. I mean, they want to know how the layer,
like this one.
Thing. Yes, it's
all right.
That's pretty easy to explain because there's actually a function. How do you want to call this? I mean, you load it like a synth, like a VST, but it's
literally called layer.
Yeah, it's literally called layer. So you just link all the children synths to it. Yeah, and then you just select them, and then you choose within the layer box. Yeah. You choose set children, and then you only have to put in the piano roll once.
Yeah,
if you want to change the melody, you only have to do that once.
Exactly. Yeah, great explanation.
I figured this out after I think 1 year of producing, and oh my god, that was no, it doesn't hurt. It hurts that you didn't know before, but exactly. Oh man, what a relief after knowing that.
Yep, it's just great to be able to change one note and know that it's changed on every synth.
But this is also something like those tiny little things you learn when producing music. That's something we still get.
I think
we still learn those little things.
I think a few weeks ago we what was it that we discovered another little thing, and I'm not really sure what it was, but it was like, holy shit, this saves us so much time. Oh, whatever. But we use layer for in this case the top lead, so we trigger every 8 of the top leads. We also have our chords, which we can make you listen to. Oh no, these are not the chords. These are the chords. Very complicated looking, but it's not that bad, to be honest.
No, it's just
with reverb, they sound a lot better.
It always does.
It always does. So we have 3 chord layers. Just little variations in width and sound. And we also have a bass layer, which is a clean bass and a more gritty bass. and we combine those. We really shouldn't need a layer for just 2, but yeah, we're that lazy to just assign it and then be done with it. And there are, by the way, a few more layers that work in this main part when the kick drops. So we can maybe let you hear the drop without the kicks, so you can hear what's going on. When we just
I am so curious if your computer will take it.
I think it will.
I don't think it. You were very optimistic.
Okay, hang in there. It will work.
Never alone.
And for those who don't produce music, this is how a project sounds that's finished, and when you have a computer that's not really acceptive of the fact that you use all the resources.
Yep, and my mouse just broke down, but it works again. I was like, I'm not getting any response anymore. A battery failure. Yeah, we can make you listen to every layer. In the drop, we have the crash, which initiates energy. A little white noise going down, and also panning to give you a little bit of stereo.
Yeah, so let's explain what those automation clips do, because I saw people asking about automation clips earlier.
All right.
And I see 3 automation clips, so they probably wonder, what are those?
What are those? All right, so this is a white noise, which is just, I think it's massive, which has a real good sound.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just white noise.
It's that, with a little bit of reverb. I think there's
Rest in peace, headphone users.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh wait, this is not the right one. I'm sorry for your ears. Yeah, so we have a distortion on it to make it a little dirtier, some EQ to take out the bass because you don't want it to mud up with the kicks.
Yes.
Then we have a filter, and we have a volume and panning control. And they do the following. When you add the filter automation, which is a low pass filter, you will hear it sweep down. Which makes it fade out, which sounds great in total. And then we have the balance, which is controlling the volume with this one to make it offbeat, and the panning to make it go from left to right continuously. Yes. And the yellow automation right here makes it go left, right, and the red one makes the volume go up, down.
It's pretty much a sidechain.
And you can see, yeah. Oh, I think I did the panning on the channel itself. Let me see that. Oh yeah, here.
People want to know why we didn't use gross beat. And gross beat, however cool it may be, is not really that consistent.
Nope.
But to be fair, you could have done this with an LFO tool or...
Yeah, you could do it with many different things.
Kickstarts
like
from Nicky Romero, whatever. But yeah.
This way you have all control, and it won't go out of timing.
Is it the easiest way to do this?
Nope, but we just make one, and then we're like, all right, that one's fine.
And then we duplicate it.
Done. And sometimes we, for example, the second climax starts one kick later. You would expect it to start right here, and we skipped one beat, so we could just move everything a little bit, and we don't have to worry about stuff. It's just we can just cut off the automation, and that's it. There are many ways to do it. We just like to do it this way, I guess. That's it. All right. So then we have.
People want to know how we create the vocal.
The vocal.
And yeah, and the problem I have with that question is I don't really know what you want to know about how we create the vocal, because we actually let a rapper record it for us.
Step 1, you take your microphone.
Yes. And you record something.
No.
You do need to be able to rap or sing. But yeah, it's not really... There's not really a secret trick to it. I mean, you have to have a nice voice. And you need to have some rhythm.
No, we have a serious answer to this.
Yeah, no, but if that's not what you're asking, if you're asking like how did you process the vocal, well, we can show you.
We can show you. So we got, I think, 12 takes of the same little rap we wrote ourselves, and it's one of them sounded like this.
This is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are resilient on beat. The hard style backbone. We connect. Never alone.
Which sounds great. You can do many things with that. And it was just
Yes.
the kind of vocal we were looking for. And then you start to get everything painstakingly cut and stretched to timing because it's a triplet track and raps in triplet. This one kind of went on beat, kind of off beat, and we just wanted it to be perfect. So if you look closely, you can see every little syllable is cut and and made unique and so see number 29 right here, number, what do we have, 21. We have many different little cuts to
Yeah,
stretch
it's cut into the rhythm.
Yep. And then when we turn off the effects that are on there, it sounds like
This is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are resilient on beat. The hard style backbone. We connect.
so it's on time right now.
Never
And-
alone.
Never alone. And then we started to add the effects, which are a lot of. We have 2 full chains. and I'm wondering why my PC isn't running so smoothly. We can just go through this real quick. We have Maximus, which is just a compression, which levels the vocal audio out, so we get a more even sound to work with. Then we have a compressor from Waves, which is awesome. You can make anything sound fat with that. Then we EQ some stuff, we distort it, we distort more, we EQ more, we limit it, we add another of those compressors. Oh no, this is a pitching we use in the second climax. These are just little effects. Then we go into another chain of effects to layer on there. So right now it sounds like
This is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are resilient on.
so it sounds a little more clear and fat and in your face already.
It sounds processed.
It sounds processed, but not processed enough for us.
Nope.
We added a chorus, which makes it sound big, as if it's multiple voices.
This is us in the G. This is us in the G.
It just duplicates the sound and makes it move
it's
in
subtle.
the stereo, which is subtle. We EQ. We do more stereo imaging to make it... What do we do with this one?
This is us in the G.
We didn't need that one, apparently. There's nothing going on there. We limit it more. We match it with a different vocal. I think what we processed in our other track we released on Spectrum called Power Mode with Ailey, his vocals. We matched it with those vocals to make it sound just...
Yeah, because they're pretty similar and we already like discovered what works. So why
bother?
figure that out again? Why not match it with what you already got?
Exactly. This peak controller, I have no idea what it's doing. Then we have another vocal processing plugin by Diamond Bundle. And then we have a de-esser, which makes sure that the S's aren't that harsh.
Which makes sure that the headphone users are still happy about the track.
Yep. Otherwise, it's just sissing and
It's
everywhere.
really sharp. Yeah.
This is us in the G.
Even more processed sounding. Then we added delay, which is only giving out its volume as soon as the vocal is quiet again, which we do by having this peak controller right here. This one registers audio coming through, which is the vocal. And as soon as it hears the audio, it drops this signal down, which is just what we set it to do.
This is us in the G.
So you can see that going on. And as soon as this goes down, we told this button to go with it. So when this white line goes down, this button goes down as well, which removes the delay. And as soon as the white line comes up, means the vocal isn't playing, we can get the delay, which is the echo you can hear.
Yeah. So it fills
This
up
is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are.
Yep. Without making it dirty.
Yes. And then that's
Reverb.
not the take that's playing from the vocal.
True. Then we also have the side vocals, which are different takes. We timed a little dirtier and they sound quieter and more to the side.
This is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are resilient on beat. The hard style backbone. We connect. Never alone.
It's a little dirtier, but it fills up the stereo image with this vocal, making it sound even wider. So
people want to know how they make the typical anthem vocals, and I think that's just a typical voice. I believe there is not really much processing needed for them to sound good, which kind of goes for this vocal as well.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, this one took a lot of processing, but it's because we just weren't that efficient as well when I look back at this chain.
Yeah, well, there was a really tight schedule.
Yep.
This is us in the G. You feel the energy? We are resilient on beat. The hard style backbone. We connect.
And then we also have the fading in vocal, which is the vocal with the reverb, reversed and fading in. So you get this effect. If I turn it on.
People also think that I am the plugged in voice, which is funny because Thijs is. I am not.
Plugged in. It's me. Right here you can see this weird wave going on again, which is similar to the white noise left-right thing we already explained. But this one, the speed and the intensity is being controlled by these automations, making it go left and right, but the speed of it changes and the amount of it changes, as you can see with the wave changing. So you can hear it going. I don't know. It's quite subtle.
People
but
also want to know if we would record our own vocal for a track.
I think we did.
I think
I did it quite a few times, but I can't really.
My Name Is.
Yep.
That has our own vocals in it.
Plugged in.
Plugged in, but that's not really a track.
No.
I think that's pretty much it.
Musketeers, when we were still solo.
Damn. Yeah, that's quite a long time.
I once made a remix of Alpha Verb with my own vocal in it.
Yeah.
But we're not great rappers, so when we do that...
And I'm from Limburg, so it's not a really good combination.
I know that Atmospheres, Tim, he can sing, he can do great stuff with his voice. He also did the vocals for My Story, I think.
Why don't you talk about Randy?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he has a golden voice.
He has a golden voice, yeah. So.
And no, the jungle doesn't have our own voice.
No, that was just a weird open source documentary about military hygiene in the jungle, yes. I think.
And that's pretty processed.
Yeah,
right?
we made a completely different story out of it.
Yeah, but also the effects on the vocal right before the drops. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's go on.
People also want to know how the writing of the melody went.
Wait,
and we actually had a different melody. Is that still in the project?
not sure, to be honest. Can try to look for it. I think it's a good idea maybe to listen to the track once again in a few minutes, by the way, for everyone tuning in.
That's true.
Because I can imagine people only just signing in. I have got a few. This is something I think was in the beginning. Not sure how this sounds, but. Let me just fix that.
Oh, you are
reverb.
searching for the old melodies.
Yeah, that's what you're asking for, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know you were actually doing it. But there was one which we were actually planning on using. I mean, there are probably a lot of melodies in there.
We've made so many melodies in there, and we didn't clean them up at all.
But one was really good. But then we made the one.
Sorry, what?
But then we made the one we're using right now, and oh god.
Just a lot of different ones. Don't know, man. We settled with this one.
So, if you want to know how the writing of the melodies goes, well, we actually always have like 10 melodies before we come to the final one.
Yeah.
And that's just trial and error, I suppose.
I mean,
sort of.
There is, of course, a way we make our melodies. Most of the time, we start with a few chords, and then we build upon that. But you can change the chords with.
But this time around, we had a vocal already, and we based the melody upon that vocal.
Yep, we just knew. Okay, this is the vocal, and this is a chord.
We can show you that vocal, the female vocal, which we started with
the effects. So it sounds a little better.
Yeah.
You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone.
There's also just extra magical layers going on. This vocal is quite different from the original, by the way. This one's pitched up, it's higher, and the original is also on a straight beat, and this one we made into a triplet.
Yes.
So it's still processed, I guess. How about we listen to the track one more time? So everyone can maybe think of new questions. If you have any new questions, just drop them, and we can get to that afterwards again. Is everything set? Yep. Okay. Here we go. Once again, the second premiere. Enjoy, guys.
is our synergy. You feel the energy, the heart style backbone. We connect.
Oh.
Yes.
I was looking for the Fruity Dance plugin, but I couldn't find
People
it.
are saying DEFCON UV 2020 anthem.
We were playing Red.
Yeah, we were playing Red, so how can we make the UV anthem? Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah.
there is already a DEFCON anthem, of course. That's why we made this into the Connect and OST.
Oh, OST, yeah. It's not an anthem because it's not a physical event. We felt like, you know, students as well. We were like, it should be the official soundtrack because if it's an event, it's just one day you can look forward to, and I'm not sure how long this shit is gonna take. Let's hope it's just gonna be short, but...
Okay, so questions. There are a lot. I will pick a random few. People want to know who the vocalist is. And honest to God, I don't know. I don't think you know either.
I know the female vocalist is called Kara.
Okay. Yeah, well, but I think people are referring to the male rapper. And we don't know because Q-Dance arranged it for us. So we only gave them the lines.
We
like
said we want those lines and it should be something like this. And then they came with this.
And Thijs did a rap. Is it still in there?
I don't think so. I think I cleaned all of the other audio.
Okay. Nice save.
Yeah. No, I'm serious.
I still have the version with Thijs rapping in it. I still have it. Should I play it?
No. Well, we needed to do the rap ourselves.
It's hard to explain how you have something in your mind, so it's better to just let them hear it.
Yeah, write it down, so let them hear it.
So Thijs did his best on doing a rap, and we sent that to the rapper, and he did it with a better voice.
This is a synergy. I'm not gonna do anymore.
Feel the energy.
We are resilient on beat. Yeah. Okay, I feel like we need to talk a little bit more about the hard drop, to be honest. Are there questions about that?
Yeah, people also want to know if there is a part of the track that we're extra proud of. And I think talking about the hard drop, I think that's one of the parts we're most proud of.
Yeah,
because
the anti-climax.
We have many melody climaxes. But a raw hard drop like this, I don't think we already made that as Primeshock.
For mid intros and stuff, surely, but not as a climax.
Not as this.
Nope.
Not like this. That's usually more of a reverse bass drop, different elements.
And this is kind of a reverse bass, but also not. I'm not sure how we made this kick. I remember we were making this track and we made the first climax, which was sounding already pretty alright. And then after a few weeks, we came back to the project and we just played it. And in the beginning of the project, this kick was there. I think I made it one day and was like, well, not sure. I think we even made it in this project and I finished it and just forgot about it. And then we heard it and we're like, oh, well, this could actually work.
Yeah.
And then we made that FX kick to go with it. This really extreme one. Which resonates. That one.
Love it.
And there's also this higher.
Doesn't really sound that good on its own, but
Nope. But
if you hear it
in combination with everything.
as a whole.
So you would expect it to drop right here on the start of bar 95. But we extend it with a very long no. And then we chop up the vocal. And then the hard drop comes in as a little bit of a surprise. I think it's a trick that's been done in raw hardstyle countless of times. And we just didn't do it until today. So, all right, here's the little build up and then the drop, and we can talk about it. You can really hear the reverb suction going on right
People
there.
also want to know what all those automation clips are from the FX kick.
Ooh, we can show the FX kick. Let me see. I think I need to add one because this one is actually a distorted African shout. It's not the FX kick. It was just a layer on there. African. Yeah, this is an African shout. Just distorted the hell out of it. By Kashmir in his sample pack. And we were like, no, we can make something else out of that. Just
Pure noise.
pure noise, but it gives drive. You know, it's hardstyle. We all like noises, and
Some more musical than others.
yeah, true. Let's see. This is the FX kick. It's really heavily distorted. So this is just a hardcore kick we once made and saved, and that's it. It's just. It's one of those ear rape sounds. And then we have a few effects on it. So we have, let me arrange this so you can see everything of this.
Yes.
So something like this, you can see everything going on. All right, so we have the FX kick right here. First thing, it's this. And then we started to add some effects. We cut a little bit of the low, but that was mixed down. So we, if there's too much bass right before the kick comes in, it feels like the kick isn't that overwhelming. So little trick right there. We have a very heavy pointy EQ, which we automate with, I think it's slot 1. So right there, this one controls. Jesus, this is getting complicated. And then we have another one, and another one, and another one, and you can see the movement.
And another one, and another one.
One of those peaks is made exactly at the key of the track, which is F. So it gives that nice little whoop sound on key, which doesn't sound dissonant with the rest. And when you have such filtering going on, you can add distortion to it, and it will completely fuck up the sound, which is awesome. And then another
And the
little...
next one,
this-
the
Oh
volume
yeah.
is necessary because otherwise it has this little till.
Yeah. It keeps on resonating because of the extreme EQs going on right here. So we have to automate the volume so it doesn't ring afterwards.
Yes.
And then we have a filter. I'm not sure what this does. And this is the volume we use. And we also have this little orange thing going on, which is a little... this is the difference between a sound. Let me do it on a cleaner sound. This is a stab. Of course. This is a stab. And when you add that little button to it, it's essentially a low pass. So we automated that for the first one to make it sweep in a little more. I'm really not sure why every automation is the way it is. It's just trial and error until we found it sounded like something that could work.
Yes.
But the secret is resonant, weird automation peaks.
Basically how you make a hardstyle kick.
Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Yeah,
But
basically... yeah, but then you stop.
And then you stop like at 5%.
Yeah, in the very first 30 minutes.
Okay, so a lot of questions. I was looking back in the chat for the previous questions, but it's hard to keep up.
Doesn't matter. What's the question that pops up a lot?
Hang on. How long did it take you to make the track?
We can see.
It's easy to show that in FL.
75 hours and 45 minutes. And
there
that's excluding a lot of the sound design, of course, because some sounds are made before or in different projects. So in total, I think probably... say 100 to 120 hours. I think that's a fair number.
People also want to know how we mix the lead and the kicks together to sound so clean in the climax. Well, we already explained that in the stream. Perhaps you missed it because you tuned in later. This stream will be available afterwards, so you can look that up.
Yeah, but of course a little bit we didn't tell them yet is the leads themselves. We take out all of the low end, so the kick gets all of the bass, and that's the only sound making bass.
Fair enough.
And of course, you know, further EQing. Our kick has a really resonant peak around, I think, 700 hertz, which is where the punch and the crunch are. Where is the kick? You can see it right
People
here.
also want to know how.
So we make sure we dip this frequency in the leads. All sorts of stuff.
People also want to know how we make the leads. They want to see all the different sound layers. We already opened all the synths we used, except for the virus, but that's hard to do because it's a hardware.
Sorry.
Synth.
Yep. And every track, the lead is different. We have one lead layer that we use in every track, I think, which is kind of
that's the armor.
Yeah, and that's kind of just a Primeshock
signature one.
Signature sound. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Work with me, baby. That's just something we used since Primetime, I think, and we kept that
copyrighted by Primeshock.
It's our sound. Of course, you can remake it, but it won't make you sound original, and I think that's
people also want to know more of the details, like the children laughing.
We also have children crying. No.
No, but do we have more of those subtle details?
I think we do. We can just show you a few stuff. We have cymbal sounds, small sweeps, impacts. Oh, come on.
You muted it all.
I muted everything. Let's just play all the sounds that aren't playing a major role, so everyone can hear them, and then maybe something catches their eye.
Sure. So why don't you just turn off the lead bus and the chords bus and the kicks?
Bruh,
Isn't
why aren't you doing
Hi.
this stream? So many great ideas.
Can I have a dab in the comments?
No.
You'll never be alone.
PC isn't liking that too much. Let's go to to different parts.
to the break before, after the first climax and before the anti-climax.
Yep.
This is our synergy. You feel the energy.
That's a nice detail. The lower vocal.
Yep. In this break, we just felt like we needed to emphasize more on connect. So there's this whole thing.
Yes, Q then told us there needs to be more of a connect in there. So we literally put the word connect on repeat. That's not true.
But we did it anyway. It's really distorted.
People
to
also
want to
know how the hell we know where we are in the track and what we have to modify because we don't name our pedants. Well, if you start the project from scratch and if you are working on it a few hours a day, you know where it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, the waveforms kind of already give a hint of what it is. So
after a few months, we get lost in our projects. That's true, because then we, like after a few months of having it released, for example, then you don't look at it anymore and you kind of forget.
Yes, I do agree. It's not as organized as it can be. I mean, when I worked on my projects when I was still a solo act, I did give everything names. I did give everything colors as well. But working together with Thijs, I tried in the beginning, but I don't think it's really that useful.
I just took over with my messy work style, I guess.
I mean, it does feel, as a designer, it does feel like it's Thijs not naming his layers like you would do in Photoshop, for example.
Yep.
So I'm not gonna name those layers either.
But I feel like
it does keep you from working on the creative process.
Yeah, and on top of that, I feel like it really is a great description of how we work together as well, because I'm more of the let's do this quick, be creative, weird stuff ideas, like quick ideas, and it turns out cool or it doesn't. And most of the time when you do something, it's a lot slower, but it's always right. So that's a big difference.
That's true.
So
that's
I
true.
think we complement each other.
It does keep you from just throwing out quick ideas.
Yeah.
So I have to. That's why we don't layer or name our layers anymore, because I have to agree with Thijs on this one.
Yes. All right. Yeah, there's a little bit of SM going on right here. Just a little whip.
I mean, it sounds so wrong.
Yeah, we can make you listen to the pre-drop. So like the last 4 seconds before the kick comes in with the melody or whatever. We have a lot of stuff going on. we make sure that the whole stereo image gets narrow. So when the lead comes back, when the kick hits, everything sounds big and huge. We have a little tool on the master which adds a little bit of reverb and then just removes it right before the drop, and everything is dry, so it creates more tension. We remove all of the delays and reverb on sounds right before the drop, so everything just sounds clean, and then bam, you get back into the big space.
Yes.
And what kind of sounds are going on right in the pre-drop?
People want to know how the drum fills go.
The drum fills. Well, these are all of the drum fills, but... So we have a really big snare. Distorted and compressed and squashed, and OTT is your friend. And we have another smaller snare with a little bit of pre-shift and noise. Then we have the sexual... then we have some epic toms, cinematic. Not really sure where we got them from. Also, just with a lot of effects. Bit of an EDM clap. Just gives those noises. Like I said, the reverb is taken out. What else is there? A fixed kick, a different one from the previous. We made you.
Do we make the snares by ourselves?
We do sometimes. This one is from a pack. It's really easy to make snares in Serum, for example. But this one...
To be fair, you don't really have to, as long as you keep your snares, if they have a lot of tone, if you keep them in key.
Yep. This is the original sample. And then we just made it in key, and we added some effects to compress it and stuff. And
yes. You don't need to make everything from scratch. I think that's something people got from the earlier tutorials on the internet about making music. You can use... It's not a bad thing to use samples, as long as it does sound unique.
Yep.
As long as the finished product does sound unique. If it has your own sound, if you don't sound like a second Headhunters or a second Datsuikas or whatever, if people will say, if they listen to your track and they say that's a Primeshock track, if you are Primeshock, then that's a good thing.
If you are Primeshock.
If you are not Primeshock and people say it sounds like a Primeshock track, well, then you have a problem, and then you need to change your sound.
It's not a problem, but it doesn't make you unique. It doesn't make you stand out.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
bad choice of words, but
for example, talking about using samples, this snare, it's called Snare 18. We've used it in countless of projects. I have no clue where it comes from. Oh, right now it's pitched up really badly.
How do you make a... People know how to make a kick in key, but they don't know how to make a snare or clap in key. I don't think a clap does it.
No.
It doesn't. This clap doesn't really have any. Doesn't have that much tone to it.
No, if it has a tone to it, you could try to do it. It makes it
snares
sound a lot
and toms, for example, they do have tone.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But for example, this snare, no idea where it comes from. Lately, we started a secret little new project. More info on that soon. And we got some sounds, and guess what snare was in there? And it's a really old thing. Exactly this snare. So many producers use the same samples. It's just how do you use it? If it's a really important sample, it's probably better to make something yourself, but you can do really crazy stuff with samples and use it.
Yes.
How to get a sample in key? That's a good question, though. For example,
use your ears.
This snare.
Or use.
Yeah, use your ears.
Or use software that tells you what key it is in.
Yep, this snare. If I remove the pre-drop for a sec, this. It has a really distinct point on the lower part of the frequency of this snare. You can see it on this equalizer. It really resonates on that peak. And you can see, if I hover over it in this particular EQ, you can see it's F3. So it's an F. And what we did was we made the peak a little less in your face. And we went like, okay, so if this is an F, we can... oh, wait, well, now it's in F because the root note was in F. But if we bring it back to the original sample, how it sounded... It sounds a little higher. You can see the peak is not at F, but it is at
G sharp.
G sharp. So we were like, okay, G sharp to F, that's minus what? 3 semitones? 1, 2, 3. And then we have it on F. And that's how you make pretty much any sample on key. Just watch the lowest.
Can you close
peak.
the fab filter for me?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Just look for the lowest peak in the frequency scale, and that's probably your the root of the sample, the key of the sample.
Do we reset our...
Sorry. Sorry.
Do we reset our eyes from time to time without listening to the track? Oh, your ears. Corrected. Well, if you do not work on a project for a certain amount of time, let's say you keep it closed for a month or so, it does kind of give you a more objective approach towards the track again.
Yep, for sure. I think our last release...
I think we always do that.
Yeah, our last release was a collaboration with Jay Reeve, and we finished it in time for Reverse, where we premiered it. And then we had a few weeks until release afterwards, and we just tried to not listen to it at all for at least 1 week or 1.5 weeks to make sure we can do the final touches with clean ears. We have many tracks of us that we feel like could use a tweak right now, but you know, you get better at it, but it's also just you get used to it when you make it, and then a few weeks or months after you listen to it completely differently.
People also want to know if we master our tracks.
Yep.
Our own tracks.
We do it ourselves.
And yes, we do.
It's just EQ, compress, limit. It's not that complicated, to be honest.
Yes.
Maybe we can do something about it later, but for now it's not that interesting, I think.
It's pretty much details. Pretty much just throw an inflator on there that already does a lot.
And then you pump it up. Pump it loud.
You know, pump it up.
Hell yeah.
Little details.
Just little percussion thingies going on. Let me just turn off those main sounds like you said before, and then we can see if...
I think we're stuck on the break after the first climax.
True, we went into the connect. So that's right here. I really like the build up to there. When you enable all the sounds, you get this little vocal part, and that ends with "We connect," and then the vocal starts with "No." It starts building up. Beautiful voice, I know. It builds up, and in the meantime, we have a clone of that vocal, which is extremely distorted, and it filters in as well.
No.
which brings you to this aggressive vibe that then starts right before the drop. Then we cut away all of the reverb, so you end up with the clean da, 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 da. And then the reverb comes back in slowly, but it already starts to pump with this reverb punch we talked about a little earlier. So you can feel the pump building up, and then you get the effects kicks, and then it starts to break everything down with the heavy snares. And you can see right here, we take away the reverb and the delays, and then it starts building up, and then it goes away for that little bit of tension right before the drop, and then it comes back in. And the drop itself is actually pretty empty. It's just real fat sound design, which makes it awesome. Yeah, and then you get that little bit. I think the inspiration for this little part comes from Feel It, Die Blokken Estefan and Disturb. As soon as I made this, the few people that made it so far that they heard it before, they said, hey, it sounds a little bit like. And then we were like, oh yeah, well, that's a fair that's a fair observation. But I don't think it's inspiration, not copying, I feel like.
Yeah.
And if you feel like it's copying, well, I don't care. I like it. So.
Thijs, shall we let them hear the project one more time and then wrap it up? Or
it's already 1.5 hours of streaming. I think that's a good call. And more.
So if you have any last questions, drop them in the chat, and we will do 5 more.
5 short ones. 5 is a lot, to be honest. We do take a lot of time. 3. Because it's a triplet track, 3.
Oh!
Hey.
3 more questions for a triplet track.
Oh, yeah.
One more time. The third premiere.
The third premiere? Yeah, so we play it 3 times. We have 3 more questions. The track is triplet.
Nice.
Illuminati confirmed?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, do you see any questions already?
Yes. Why Fruity Loops?
I don't know. We once started.
Because it's an easy program to get used to. It's an easy program to use a demo from, and
as soon as you buy it, you get free lifetime updates, which is also a big plus.
As Dutch guys, we love lifetime
free updates,
free things.
Every music software is expensive, but if you really get into it, you can support the producers, the company behind the program by buying it. And Fruity Loops, FL Studio, they don't want to be called Fruity Loops anymore, by the way. It's FL Studio. They give free lifetime updates. We've always worked with FL Studio. I think you own Cubase.
I do own Cubase as well, and that's mainly for pitching kicks, which we don't do in Cubase anymore. So
that's a waste of money.
Perfect purchase.
Yep. It's just what you're used to. I think you can use any program you like as long as you know your way in it, and as long as it doesn't limit you in being creative and doing complicated stuff sometimes.
Do we have any more plans to make another Power Mode event?
Yeah.
I mean, there aren't really events, so you can't really plan anything. The last one was a success, so we do want to do another event, but time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, we were positive about doing another one if the time is right. But
Yeah.
right now the time isn't right, so
Nope.
we'll just have to wait what happens.
Okay, this one is question 2.5. Will the stream be saved or will it be deleted? It will be saved. It will be up right after the stream ends, so you can view the whole thing back and put it on loop for the whole week.
Yeah, do that because that's a great idea.
Okay. Next track.
By the way,
When is
we are streaming weekly right now on our own channels. So if you want to see more studio stuff, gaming stuff, whatever, you can always watch there as well. And those streams will all also stay up. So
Yes. We will do Q&As like this one, studio sessions like this one. This is a combination. The last stream we did before this one was a mixing session where we mixed any genre, any track.
yeah, you did a great job.
We did a studio session before that as well, where we made the Hamster Paradise track, Hamster Paradise.
Yep.
And we also do gaming sessions because we are gamers as well.
You got to do something in quarantine, right?
Yes.
Okay, one more question, and then we play
One
it
more
time.
question.
There are
When
plenty
is
of
your
questions.
when is your next track coming? Well, this will be the next track, and it will be online very soon.
Yep. It's just a matter of final touches, I think, on getting it online, but it will be soon. Can't really say any more about that.
Perhaps we can say so later this week.
Hopefully. One little thing though, I mean, it's going to be released together with Q-Dance, so
Obviously.
because it's the Connect soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we then play the track one more time for everybody?
We shall play it one more time.
And then we wrap it up. All right. I will select the track. Let's do this stuff. The third premiere of Primeshock Never Alone.
Right here,
Official
right
Connect.
now.
On Q-Dance Records, no. Here it comes. Okay, enjoy.
You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. No, you'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone. You'll never be alone.
This is our synergy. You feel the energy. We are resilient on beat. The heart, star, backbone. We connect. Never alone. This is our synergy. You feel the energy. The heart, star, backbone. We connect.
You'll never be alone.
This is our synergy. You feel the energy.
You'll never be alone.
Never alone.
You'll never be alone.
Je moet connected zijn, man.
All right.
Yeah, well, to wrap it up with showing you all the details in the track, that's the final detail, literally.
It's a little
From the stream and from the track.
yeah, it's a little Dutch joke. So everyone that's not Dutch, sorry, you need to stay connected. That's what the guy says.
We like our memes.
Yep. By the way, we almost forgot to say something very important,
Oh,
which plays a major role with how fast we can release this. We need you guys to send in tracks about being, or send in videos about being never alone, being together with the people you can still be together, being in home quarantine, whatever. Anything you can show Qdance to show them you are connected. And they will try to use that in the official video clip for Never Alone. So it's kind of an important thing to tell them, because otherwise there won't be a video clip.
well, fair enough, yeah. But where do they need to send it to?
That's a very good question. I think you can send your video, if you have a video, directly to Qdance on their Facebook or on their Instagram as a little link to them as a direct message. You can of course also send it to us if you want to, and we will get it to Qdance. Just do a direct message anywhere. I can't just point somewhere on the stream and say this email address because we didn't prepare that. But it would be awesome to get some videos of you guys being connected.
People also want to know if photos are also allowed.
I think that's perfect. We can do stuff with that as
Yes.
well. Make fun animations and just show the world how good of a community we are as the hardstyle community.
As the hardstyle backbone.
The hardstyle backbone. We connect. Yeah. And I think we can be
this
proud.
video will be available afterwards.
Yep. I think we can be proud as a community of how we are all together right now on a stream like this, and just, staying strong, even though these times are really weird. So show that in a little video or in a photo, share it, and then we can use that.
And for those who want to hear the track in a more high quality than this live stream can provide you, tune into Qdance Radio tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Spoiler alert. It will be featured in our Power Mode podcast, which will be premiered at Qdance Radio tomorrow at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Yep.
8 o'clock. CET.
8 o'clock CET, yep.
And it will be available the day afterwards on our social media. So SoundCloud, Mixcloud, YouTube,
At least you can
iTunes.
then listen to the track in a little better quality, and then
Yeah.
hopefully the video clip follows soon with the release.
And enjoy the rest of the mix / podcast as well.
Of course, little. Don't just skip through to that track and then forget about it.
Exactly.
We did our best. Okay, let's switch over to the both of us together.
Oh, dual cam. Here we go.
Dual cam.
Hey.
Hello there.
Nice.
I think we've done everything we wanted to do in this live stream so far. We talked about the track. We talked about the video clip.
We did.
I'm really curious about rewatching this with the chat turned on, so I can see that as well.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
It was hard to keep track of it sometimes, but
yeah.
I did my best.
At least you managed to keep up with the YouTube chat.
In the right chat this time.
In the right chat, yeah. Yeah, we stream it on multiple places at the same time.
And at least your FL Studio didn't crash.
That's also a little plus side, which I didn't expect with such a huge project. But
yeah,
we still have to round up the the stream. So.
Oh shit!
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in once again. This was the second Connect Studio sessions. Once again with us,
the fourth plugged in live stream.
Maybe next studio session there will be a different artist to do a challenge by Q-Dance. Who knows?
Who knows?
But this was something special that, yeah, you know, we just had to do this real quick. Yeah. I think that's it for tonight.
That's about it. Keep safe, stay strong, listen to a hardstyle.
Stay connected, eat fruits.
Stay connected.
And follow us on our socials, god damn it.
we need to follow us.
We'll see you guys soon, hopefully. Stay safe, and until next time.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Primeshock presents
Plugged In. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.